Hi everybody and welcome to your weekly woo. Before we begin, everyone gets access to the extended today because the card's message was just so clear. The message is so clear this week. I want everybody to have access to it. So this may be a little longer than you're used to. First, we pulled Elder as our plant ally, the Elder Tree, which is yes, where we get the elderberry from, and Mountain Lion. But our totem this week was in reverse. So we're gonna right side it up. So Elder, this tree is so potent, so powerful, because if you look at its history, it is an incredible gateway between this world and the unseen world. If you know anything about magic, or even if you watch Harry Potter, you know that the Elder Wand, the wand made from the elder tree, is the most powerful wand. This is a definite invitation to dive deeply into ancient wisdom. If you are feeling inquisitive about pre-recorded history or Egyptian magic and history, or anything that feels magic and old and deep and earth magic, all of these things are really calling to us now. We are in Taurus season. Today, this weekend, we have the sun conjunct the planet Uranus, which is all about that connection with higher consciousness, but it's in the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of sensuality and the earth and plants and nature and sex and food. So this makes a lot of sense to me that we're getting this call to go deep within and to really explore what is the unseen. Now, this is not about religion, because no matter what you believe created all of this and what you adhere to, there is a connection we have with the unseen realm that transcends all of that. And this card is really saying this week we're going to be getting that tap on the shoulder. Now, Elder also says, don't get lost in placing that which is unseen on a pedestal above you. So it's also a warning to, yes, go into these realms, go study the mysteries, go study metaphysics, study quantum physics, study what is earth magic, study, the art of attraction, the law of attraction. But don't place so much value in these things that you lose track of what is right for you. And this is a message that we get clearly over and over again this week, that yes, you want to seek out the knowledge that you need to follow the passion, the curiosity, the childlike wonder that you're sensing. Follow that passion, but don't lose yourself to the teacher or the archetype you might be studying or the information you might be studying. So when we get Mountain Lion is the totem of leadership, which is different from wolf medicine, where wolf is very much the teacher. Mountain Lion is the king, right? It's the lion energy in general. You stand up courageous and roar and you lead the group. But when it's reversed, there's a couple of different messages that we need to hear this week. One is the energy of the tyrant, the dictator, right? If it's your way or the highway, that stubbornness, that, not seeing other people's perspectives. It's warning us of that in ourselves. But it's also saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to following what leaders are saying. Meaning, are you the leader of your own life? And to make sure that you're not giving your power away to leaders that may be acting in ways that aren't congruent with integrity. And then the next message to it is saying, are you not stepping into leadership because you're afraid of the responsibility, or perhaps you're afraid of being seen, or perhaps you're not stepping into leadership because you're afraid if you did, you become that tyrant, right? But we turn it right side up when we really acknowledge what our passions truly are. Because when you're following what you truly love, what you're really interested in, what sets your heart aflame, then more than likely, as you lead around these topics or this part of your life, you are going to be acting in a benevolent, kind way because you're connected to an inner flame. You're really listening to what your inner children, right? Because we have more than one inner child, what they're wanting. And when they're heard, we're not as likely to become that tyrant or that dictator. When our inner children are really heard, we can act in right relationship with those we are leading and appreciate that they are evolving beings on their own. And there's a certain amount of detachment that happens when we embody leadership in a truly benevolent way. That idea of the great mentor who guides the student but does not force the student. It's all about the student discovering its own knowledge from within. So this message to me is it's a pretty clear one. It's go deeply into that which is calling you to study it, right? Go deeply into that thing you want to learn about. No matter what it is, whether it's an ancient mystery or not. But remember to maintain your own sense of leadership for yourself. And also, if you're teaching these things, to remember that this is a time to let go of the fear of how you will be seen for following what truly gets you going. The idea of, and then this was our goddess this week, Pele, right? The Hawaiian goddess of creation and destruction, the goddess of the volcano, which her message is, are you tapped into your inner volcano? Do you know what that fire is all about? And are you able to harness your own power, the power of your mind, the power of your emotions, right? Because if you watch the energetic body video, our thoughts and our emotions are things. They are energy that affects our magnetic field and everyone else's that we're around. So the message this week is really clear. Where is your passion? Where do you want to study? Where do you want to focus? And are you allowing yourself to do that? Or is there this fear of, if I go into this, if I make this change, if I follow that this is my true purpose, my true passion, will I lose myself to it? And Mountain Lion is telling us, no, you won't. Right? Not if you listen to yourself and don't place the subject or the passion or the teacher above you. Stay in your center as you move through this magical time that we're all in. We've all had enough time to really think about, and here is our crystal card. We've got 2 this week. Green calcite. Green calcite is very much about letting go of that which holds us back from knowing who we truly are and what we really want, really connecting to what is our purpose here. And we've all had a lot of time, 6 weeks now, to really allow this slowing down of society to give us a chance to really think about what are these personalities we've created that may not actually serve our heart, and they may not actually serve our passion. And these ideas of what was important may not actually serve what you're finding your values are now. Our values are shifting. We're about to go into a Venus retrograde in the sign of Gemini, which is in some ways going to be easier that it's in the sign of Gemini, because we're really going to be able to think through this process of reevaluating, what do I value? What does even valuing something mean? And if you could make a list, say, what are your top 10 values? What would they be? And that's changing for all of us. What it would have been, say, last summer is going to be very different from what they will be this summer, we are finding. So letting go of that fear that says, oh, I can't go into this new business. I can't start this new project. I can't write that book. I can't make that video. I can't make that call, right? Because I'm shy. I don't want to be seen. Maybe I'll lose myself in the process. This is saying, let go of that. Let go of all that second guessing and that self-doubt and the old paradigm that society would say, no, you got to stay in this box. No, not anymore. Pele is saying, burst forth. Now, what's also interesting, I just want to bring up that, and we got cut your cords, and this is why I want to talk about this as well. When we are not following our passion, that lava flow backs up. And this is where we can, go to drugs and alcohol and sex, or, what we define as addictions, because we naturally want to feel that pleasure and that release. And so those addictions give it to us, momentarily, and then we feel really terrible afterwards, and it's a horrible cycle. We're being told to really cut the cords of these cycles that are stopping us from accessing the fire within us. You won't need to turn to these other things if you're really going inside and really asking the question, what turns me on? What could I work on and forget that time is passing? How when you're working on a project and you don't like what you're studying or working on, and it's like forever, time stretches out. But when you're working or focusing on something that you love, it's like, boop, where'd the time go? And 5 hours passes by. That is the vein we want to go in. And our other crystal was Herkimer diamond. Now, it has 12 facets, the Herkimer diamond, and yet it is one thing. And this is saying all these different parts of yourself. Can you call them together? And like this idea of all the children within, call them in together and really focus on what do they all have in common? What is that one theme within you that you want to follow, that you want to deeply go into study with? And Herkimer Diamond also says you go so deeply into listening to your inner self, your inner leader, right? That lion within, hear me roar. You go so deeply into that process that it doesn't matter what the people around you think or say about your passion, because you're so connected to your inner truth that the naysayers you just brush away. And that's sort of what this is too. It's like, no, don't let anybody stop you from exploring your passion. Because, what you love may not be what other people love. Your value system is your own to discover. And then that leader within is the one who implements those values. So cutting the cords, again, also, cutting the cords of fear between you and you really can see them. And this is something that maybe we'll be exploring in this week's meditation. When you close your eyes, and just with your intention to be like, are there any cords between me and people that I've had, issues with, or, even corporations or institutions, and just see if that comes up for you this week. This idea that you are tethered to other humans or conglomerations, or families or ideas or institutions that are holding you back from being able to be your true and free self, your wild self that knows what it wants, that knows how it feels, that knows what it's interested in. That great quote, Joseph Campbell, when he says, just follow your bliss. It's like the key to life. Just follow what brings you bliss. And it's not the addictive things, because that bliss is, dare I say, not even really existent, because right on the other side of anything you would consider pleasurable is that feeling of guilt and shame that comes up. Cut those things out so that you can really hear the messages from that which we can't see. You can call it God, goddess, angels, fairies, guides, whatever it is. We're in a time on the planet where we're literally moving through a photon belt of light that we move through every, I think it's 26,000 years. Everyone's consciousness is elevating. The whole planet is elevating. And we have access, especially with the Sun-Uranus conjunction, we have access to major aha moments and major breakthroughs. Mentally, spiritually, physically, romantically, sexually, it's all here for us. And we've been letting go and slowing down enough that we can hear it. And some of us may be going, oh my God, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna say if I completely change my life and change everything I said I wanted and actually follow this new truth? Saying, be brave, do it, because maybe your example is gonna help other people free themselves from these conditioned ideas that didn't work anyway, and from these, things that they're bound to, that are just holding them back from being their true self and really living that passionate life where you don't need substances or distractions because you're naturally so connected to your inner source that there's no such thing as like fatigue and depression and exhaustion. You're tapped in to an ever-present flowing energy of passion, connection, creativity. And with Herkimer Diamond really saying like, you bring it all in, all that you've learned in this lifetime, all that you're learning from this experience, and you distill it into a new value system that supports magic and miracles coming into your life, that supports falling in love with the planet again and nature, right? So the elderberry also, like, its great medicinal effect is that it clears stagnation in the fluids in our body. And this is a message that there is no problem that can't be cleansed with spiritual energy. And this took me a long time to understand, but man, now that I do, it's why I'm here making these videos, that we have a chance right now, whether you've been spiritual in your life or not, to take this breath to really think about, how do I want to live the rest of my life? What is going to guide me for the rest of my days? When death is up in our faces right now, it really says like, chop, cut down whatever would hold you back right now from living your fullest life. We are surviving something right now, and it's like, what are you going to do with these days now? What are you going to do with this? In some ways, it's almost kind of like it's borrowed time in a way, or it's a gift. It's like a magic time. What are you going to let lead you into your future now? And this idea of rising up for leadership in regards to all these parts in yourself, the little children within yourself who may have not gotten enough from their parents, or gotten too much from their parents, or been wounded by the community, by schoolmates, been bullied, all of that. It's calling it all back in and saying, okay, what can I do to call forth my courage, to let go of the past, to cut my cords with all that would hold me back, so that I can be living my passion and my purpose and being an example to everybody else who may be second guessing that this is the way to go. So follow the call. We're all getting this call right now to go deep, and that's going to look different for all of us, But that's the message, because within that depth lies the answer to the question, what is my purpose? The answer to what your purpose is what is my passion? What is my passion will lead you to, my purpose. So thank you so much for viewing. If you guys would like a personal reading or assistance in letting go of having an awakening to your passions and your courage, please reach out to me. I'm here for you. info@thegoodwoo.org is how you email me, or you can DM me. Also head to the website where there's a ton of other videos and information. And have a blessed week, you guys. This is an opportunity right now to take the gift of change. You can change it all. And this week, you're really going to get the call to do so. And for some of us, it may be subtle. And for others of us, it may look very drastic. But don't let how it looks stop you from following that volcano that wants to erupt. That inner lava that wants to just spread all over and create new land. Thank you all so much.